Have you ever wondered how a vibrant Islamic heritage flourished on an island far from the traditional heartlands of the Muslim world? Join us on a captivating journey through over 1,000 years of history, culture and resilience, exploring the profound impact of Islam on the resplendent island of Sri Lanka. The story of Islam in Sri Lanka is not one of conquest, but of commerce and cultural exchange. As early as the 7th century CE, long before the advent of European colonial powers, Arab traders navigated the vast Indian Ocean. They were drawn to Sri Lanka, then known as Serendib or Taprobane, by its strategic location and its legendary bounty of spices, gems and elephants. These intrepid mariners established bustling coastal settlements, transforming the island into a pivotal hub along the maritime Silk Road. Places like Mana, Beruwala, Gale and Trincomalee became vibrant cosmopolitan centers. Their presence was welcomed by local rulers who recognized the immense economic benefits these skilled merchants brought. Unlike many historical encounters, the arrival of Islam in Sri Lanka was largely peaceful. Arab traders integrated into the local fabric through intermarriage with Sinhalese and Tamil women. This organic process of assimilation led to the gradual formation of a distinct Muslim community, deeply rooted in the island's diverse cultural landscape. Early mosques, often simple structures, began to dot the coastline, serving as spiritual anchors for these burgeoning communities. The faith spread not through proselytization, but through the quiet influence of daily life, trade ethics, and the shared bonds of family. This foundational period laid the groundwork for a unique Sri Lankan Muslim identity, blending Islamic tenets with local customs. As centuries passed, the Muslim communities in Sri Lanka grew in number and influence. Sri Lankan kings, recognizing their invaluable contributions to trade and the economy, extended their patronage and protection. Muslims became indispensable advisors, diplomats and merchants, facilitating international commerce and enriching the royal treasuries. During the Kandy period, for instance, Muslim communities enjoyed significant autonomy and religious freedom. They were granted lands and privileges, solidifying their position within the island's social hierarchy. Their expertise in maritime trade, gemology, and various crafts made them vital components of the island's prosperity. The term Moor, initially used by the Portuguese to describe these Muslim communities, reflected their perceived origins from North Africa or the Middle East. However, by this time, the Sri Lankan Muslims had developed a unique cultural identity, distinct from their ancestral lands, yet deeply connected to the global Islamic civilization. Their contributions extended beyond commerce. Muslim scholars and Sufi mystics also played a role in the intellectual and spiritual life of the island. They introduced new ideas, architectural styles and literary traditions, further enriching the already diverse cultural tapestry of Sri Lanka. The arrival of European colonial powers in the 16th century marked a dramatic shift in the fortunes of Sri Lankan Muslims. The Portuguese, driven by a blend of trade ambition and religious zeal, viewed the prosperous Muslim traders as rivals and infidels. This era brought unprecedented persecution and conflict. Muslims faced forced conversions, destruction of mosques, and displacement from their coastal strongholds. Many sought refuge in the interior, particularly in the Kandyan kingdom, where local rulers offered them protection. This period of adversity forged a stronger sense of community and resilience among the Muslims. The subsequent Dutch rule, while less overtly hostile than the Portuguese, still imposed restrictions. Muslims were often relocated to specific areas, and their trade networks were curtailed to serve Dutch interests. Despite these challenges, the communities persevered, adapting to the new political and economic realities. The British colonial period, beginning in the late 18th century, brought a degree of religious tolerance and new opportunities. Muslims regained some of their economic prominence and began to engage in modern education and political representation. This era also saw the diversification of the Muslim population, with the arrival of Javanese, Malay, and Indian Muslims, further enriching the community's cultural mosaic. Under British rule, the question of identity became more pronounced. In the early 20th century, some Muslims, particularly those of Arab descent, began to identify themselves as Ceylon Moors. This designation was a conscious effort to assert their distinct heritage and historical presence on the island, differentiating themselves from other Muslim groups and the majority Sinhalese and Tamil populations. This period also witnessed the emergence of Muslim leaders who advocated for their community's rights and representation within the colonial legislature. Educational institutions catering to Muslim children were established, fostering a new generation of professionals and intellectuals. The community actively participated in the burgeoning nationalist movement, contributing to the struggle for independence. The Ceylon Moors' identity underscored a deep connection to the island, while acknowledging their unique ethno-religious origins. It was a testament to centuries of integration, adaptation, and the forging of a distinct cultural identity that was both Sri Lankan and Islamic. This complex identity continues to evolve, reflecting the dynamic nature of their heritage. The community's economic prowess continued to be a cornerstone of their influence. From large-scale merchants to small-scale traders, Muslims played a significant role in the island's economy. Their entrepreneurial spirit and strong community networks allowed them to thrive even amidst changing political landscapes. After Sri Lanka gained independence in 1948, the Muslim community continued to play a vital role in the nation's development. They contributed to various sectors, including politics, education, business, and civil service. However, the post-independence era also brought new challenges, particularly with the escalation of ethnic tensions. The Sri Lankan Civil War, 1983 to 2009, primarily fought between the government and the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam (LTTE), profoundly impacted all communities, including the Muslims. While often caught between the two main warring factions, Muslims faced unique hardships and became victims of targeted violence and displacement. One of the most tragic episodes was the forced expulsion of over 75,000 Muslims from the northern province by the LTTE in 1990. These communities, who had lived in the north for centuries, were given mere hours to leave their homes, losing all their possessions and livelihoods. This act of ethnic cleansing left deep scars and created a massive internally displaced population. The war years were a period of immense suffering, marked by loss of life, property, and dignity. Yet through it all, the resilience of the Muslim community shone through. They established refugee camps, rebuilt their lives in new areas, and maintained their cultural and religious practices despite the immense adversity. In the aftermath of the Civil War, Sri Lanka embarked on a challenging path of reconstruction and reconciliation. For the Muslim community, this meant not only rebuilding homes and livelihoods, but also addressing the trauma of displacement and ensuring their safety and rights within a multi-ethnic society. Efforts have focused on facilitating the return of displaced Muslims to their ancestral lands in the north, though this process has been slow and fraught with challenges. The community continues to advocate for justice, recognition of their suffering, and measures to prevent future atrocities. Despite the challenges, the Muslim population in Sri Lanka has continued to grow, and there has been an increased adoption of Islamic practices and a renewed focus on religious education. Mosques and madrasas have been rebuilt and expanded, serving as centers for spiritual guidance and community cohesion. However, the post-war period has also seen the rise of new ethno-religious tensions, sometimes fueled by extremist elements. The Muslim community, while striving for peace and coexistence, has had to navigate these complex dynamics, reaffirming their identity as an integral part of the Sri Lankan mosaic. The cultural heritage of Sri Lankan Muslims is a vibrant tapestry woven from diverse threads. Their language, a unique blend of Tamil with Arabic and Sinhala influences, reflects their historical journey. Their cuisine, dress, and customs bear the hallmarks of both their Islamic faith and their deep roots in the island's traditions. From the intricate designs of their mosques to the melodious recitations of the Quran, from their unique wedding ceremonies to their vibrant festivals, Sri Lankan Muslims have enriched the island's cultural landscape. They have contributed to literature, arts, and architecture, leaving an indelible mark on the nation's identity. Today, Sri Lankan Muslims continue to be a dynamic and integral part of the nation. They are actively engaged in all spheres of life, contributing to the economy, politics, education, and social development. Their history is a testament to resilience, adaptation, and the enduring power of faith and community. Their story is a powerful reminder of how diverse cultures and religions can coexist and enrich one another. It is a narrative of peaceful beginnings, periods of adversity, and unwavering determination to preserve a unique heritage. The crescent on the pearl continues to shine brightly, symbolizing a rich past and a hopeful future. The history of Islam in Sri Lanka is a profound narrative of cultural exchange, resilience, and enduring identity. We encourage you to delve deeper into this fascinating subject. Explore further, visit historical mosques, read academic works, and engage with the vibrant Sri Lankan Muslim community. Share your insights. Discuss this rich history with friends, family, and fellow enthusiasts. Support understanding. Promote dialogue and research that fosters greater appreciation for Sri Lanka's diverse heritage. Your engagement helps preserve and celebrate this vital part of human history.